It's Christina Camacho, and this is my overview video for ABA 622. Um, so for my acquisition deck, I have made some pretty steady progress and didn't hit my aim range until week 4. For deck 1, I did not hit my aim range at all, and I didn't hit my goal of 0 in D-cell scores. For week 3 and week 4, I did change up my study time and studied longer than I did during week 1 and week 2. So during week 4, I did start hitting my aim range, and all of my D-cell scores went down to 0. I think the easiest deck for me was week 1 because it was a lot of terms that I already knew, whereas in week 4, week 5, week 6, and week 7, the cards were a little bit more complex, and I had to read through the entire card to make sure that I was getting the right term. For maintenance, I have remained in my aim range during the entirety of the course, and for D-cell scores, they went up in week 3 when deck 1 got added to my maintenance deck. Besides that, all of my D-cell scores have been 0, and every single A-cell point has been in the aim range. So for studying, I did study the decks before running my trials every single day, both for maintenance and for my acquisition deck. And I did meet my objective in my maintenance deck to remain inside of the aim range, and for my D-cell scores to be at 0. For acquisition, I met my objective for deck 2 to master the deck, and for for deck 3, I do not know if I will meet my objective yet, but it is something that I plan on focusing on during week 8 and just adding more study time to SAFMEDs. Some adjustments that I made were increasing or decreasing study times depending on whether it was a new deck or if I did not know the deck, I would increase, but if I had it mastered, then I would decrease the deck. I also met up with some classmates to do some studying, and I also watched a lot of YouTube videos. Both of these things were done to get different definitions that maybe would make more sense, or just get different examples than the ones in the textbooks. And that helped a lot to understand the terms and examples that were given. I think the term or the concept that I struggled most with was differential reinforcement, just because it's so complex and there's so many of them, and I have struggled a bit with DRH and DRL, just because when they include time intervals, it does get a bit confusing for me. So that is something that I plan on studying more before taking the final. Besides that, I have studied enough to increase my score from my pre-assessment to my midterm, and I have had mastery of Decks 1 and Deck 2.